What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Single Guy channel. My name is Lloyd, giving you practical and actionable pickup and dating advice for all you single guys out there. And today we're going to be talking about the age-old question, which is, why do women like asshole guys? Well, the truth is that women don't like a guy who's an asshole, but a lot of times guys misinterpret if he's being an asshole. People get labeled as assholes when they're really not. He might act like an asshole to you, but I guarantee you he's not acting like an asshole to women. But also, too, there are a lot of types of guys that we consider to be bad people, or we consider, they behave badly towards others. And they still do really well with women. Why is this? Okay, so obviously they're succeeding in spite of the fact that they're being rude or the fact that they're being mean to others. Okay, so why do women like them so much that they're willing to put up with them? Okay, and remember, this is not every girl, okay? I would say the average girl probably wouldn't go for this, but if the girl's young, she's impressionable, or she's got some fucked up psychology, there's a good chance she's gonna go for these types of guys, okay? So I wrote down all the reasons that I think women go for these types of guys, and I have definitely been lumped into this category for sure, unfortunately. But it's something that happens a lot. And one reason, I would say, first of all, is that if you consider yourself a nice guy, you probably care way too much about what the woman thinks. An asshole does not have that problem at all. And the reason why it helps him is because in order for you to move things forward, you have to make a move. And if you're too scared or you're too worried about what the girl thinks of you to make a move, you're probably not going to do it. Now, if an asshole guy goes out, he talks to 40 women or 50 women, and 49 of them say no, but one of them says yes, that's still a yes, and that's still one more yes than the guy who didn't take any action is getting. And if they tell you about it, if they brag about it, they're not going to tell you about those 49 rejections. They're going to tell you about that one success. So if you think of the classic asshole guy who's being really loud and obnoxious to people, okay, so a lot of people don't like this guy. But why is it that some women will sleep with him? Well, the reason why is because women don't necessarily pay too much attention to how a guy's behaving. What they'll pay attention to a lot of times is how people are reacting to the way the guy's behaving. And if they're reacting positively to it, that's actually a really powerful, attractive signal. It's called counter-signaling. Counter-signaling basically means that you're doing something that would normally prevent you from hooking up with somebody or getting laid or something like that. In biology, we call it mating. So if you do something that is inherently disadvantageous towards your fitness, then it means that you must have other traits, or you must be so fit that you're still able to survive despite those traits. The perfect example of this is the peacock. The peacock is an animal where the males, they have these very, very large feathers. This is a very, it's a frill that's incredibly extravagant. It's unnecessary, okay? And it's very impractical for survival, okay? Predators can see it. They look at it and they're like, okay, obviously it's a bird, I'm gonna eat that. So it weighs them down a lot so they can't run away. It's not a good thing to have when you're trying to survive. But women think it's so attractive when a guy has a huge plumage rather than a small plumage, because it means he's so fit that he can have this large frill and still survive. That means he must be so fit, he must have such good genes that he's able to have that such wide array of feathers. And so it's attractive. Same thing with the guy at that bar. If he's being loud, rude, and behaving badly towards others, and people still like him, people are still all over him, that must mean that he has other traits that are so good that women are willing to overlook, or people are willing to overlook, that clearly bad behavior that he's presenting himself with. Another thing too that that asshole guys get known for, and this is something they get thrown into, but they're not actually being an asshole. Sometimes I'll be talking to a girl, and I'll be being playful with her, and I'll say things that a lot of guys wouldn't be able to get away with. I might be teasing her. I might even call her a bitch or something like that. So that's something that you would probably never be able to get away with, right? Well, in this context, because I'm being so playful, she's actually laughing or she's actually having a really good time. But if there are guys around, or especially if it's a guy that kind of likes her and he sees this happening, he's going to think like, what? This guy's being so mean to her. It's because he's not getting that the whole vibe is being playful. She sees it, but he doesn't. And so that's why he's going to label me as an asshole, or other people are going to label me as an asshole, is because they're not seeing the playfulness. And on top of that, it pisses them off even more that I'm doing well with this lady and I'm not being nice. The thing about asshole guys, especially this works for a lot of young girls. So young girls, they really love the bad boys. They really love the guys who break the rules, who don't follow trends, who do whatever the fuck they want. Why do they like this guy? Well, they like it because he's exciting, he's adventurous, and a lot of them are leading boring lives and they want a guy to take them on some sort of adventure, to have some sort of fun, to, to experiment, to do new things, to take them to a new world, okay? But they also like a guy who is really, really confident, okay? And you don't have to be a rule breaker or a bad boy to be confident, but that's actually not a bad sign to look for if you're looking for a confident person. Why? An unconfident person is going to try and fit in. He's going to try and follow all the rules. He's going to try and not be noticed. A confident person doesn't follow those. He goes by his own code because he's confident enough in himself that he can just go for it. And so although it's not a perfect sign by any means of looking for a guy with confidence, if you're young or if you're kind of naive or you're just kind of into that kind of person, you're into it because it's an example of confidence. And women across the board, all of them like a guy who's confident. In the same token too, a lot of times if a guy, one of the most common people that get lumped into the asshole category right here is a guy who's attractive to a lot of women, okay? A lot of women want to sleep with him, and because a lot of women do that, that's actually really attractive for women. There's tons of studies to prove this. But women have this fantasy where if a guy has all of these options, like he could get with anyone, but he chose me. That makes them feel really, really special. And when they see a guy who they perceive to be that kind of guy, and he shows them a little bit of attention, or he shows them that little bit of affection, they latch onto it like their lives depend on it. Because it's something that's it makes them feel incredibly important. In this life, people are really trying to feel important. That's a big motivation for why people do anything. And if you're a person who makes that person feel important, well, they're gonna really, really be attracted to you. Another thing too that these girls will do is, have you ever played a game like Candy Crush or maybe, I don't know if there's any of these phone games. What these games do, and they've been proven this over time, is they give you random rewards. Like a slot machine. So if you're playing a slot machine, like obviously it's dumb luck if you win or not. But the rewards are random. You can't predict when you're going to win next. That kind of random reward system has been proven to be the most addictive system that they can create. And that's why all these video game companies have them. Because if you give a person, if you say, hey, if you do this and I give you this, then you did something and you got a reward. You can predict when it's going to happen next. And ironically, that's actually the quickest way to get somebody bored, is you give them a system and they know when they're going to get it all the time. But if you give them random rewards, they're constantly trying to figure out when the next thing is going to come. And they get super, super addicted to it. And this has happened to me playing video games, and this also happens to women too. If they're going after a guy who's kind of this asshole guy who's like barely paying them any attention, but he gives them like random rewards, and making them feel important, making them feel good about themselves, but it's done randomly, and like a lot of the times they're feeling like shit, they can very, very easily get addicted to those feelings, almost like a drug. And so all of her friends, you will be thinking, why is she going after this guy? This guy's a total asshole. Well, it's because the rewards that he's giving her is like just enough for her to like be really addicted to those good feelings he's giving her. And trust me, I've been the perpetrator of this many a time. You can probably keep it going for a few months, but usually if she has half a brain, she'll catch on and she'll, hopefully go off for somebody else. I wouldn't recommend going by that tactic to try and keep women around, okay? It's limited and it's gonna make your life very dramatic and it's unhealthy. But there are a certain segment of the population that are so addicted to these types of feelings that they will go after these guys purposefully who they know will treat them like shit. And they're addicted to these types of guys. Fellas, do not try and fix this kind of woman. She is bad news for you. She's going to make your life hell, and she's going to make you just as miserable as she is. Another thing that asshole guys do that regular guys could probably learn from is they have no problem not showing neediness, okay? Zero problem with that, okay? A lot of guys will show too much interest at the beginning, or they'll show really needy behavior at the beginning, and it'll turn the girl off. The asshole does not have a problem with that, okay? So if the girl's kind of already into them, they show them like that little bit of affection, then it's really good at kind of keeping them around. All right, so that's what I have to say about assholes. I think, and I'm going to end the video with this. This is a really important thing, probably the most important thing, and I know only like 50% of the people who watch this video are going to make it to the end. But for the 50% that did, thank you for being here, because I actually don't think that you guys, I'm not saying that you guys should go out and be an asshole. I think that's actually a really bad tactic. What happens with a lot of guys, and what kind of happened with me too, was that like I hated being the nice guy, and I was so sick of women burning me that the pendulum completely flipped to the other side, where I started acting like a complete dickhead to people. And I actually got a little bit of success with women from that, a little bit, but not enough for it to be worth it. I mean, it's like probably like 2% of what I get now. And what I had to learn was that I had to learn to be nice, but also embody the traits that were attractive about these asshole guys that I was trying to act like, okay? So if I'm an asshole, the traits that I talked about in this video are attractive, but you don't have to be an asshole to embody them. What you do need to embody is you need to embody the confidence, the assertiveness, the fun and adventure and the playfulness that a lot of these asshole guys have. Oh, and also, you know, having options too. All of those things, you don't have to be a dick to actually embody. And in fact, it's better if you're a nice person on top of that. Once I learned to embody those traits and then incorporate kindness, incorporate generosity, incorporate empathy, and incorporate a general care for people's well-being and being kind, that really took my game to the next level. I mean, that's really what brought me the most success. And it took me a long time to learn this. And so I'm giving you this video so you don't have to spend as much time as it took me. Hopefully this helps you guys. If you made it to the end, consider subscribing. I come up with videos like this every single week. If you're interested in my weekly one-on-one mentorship program where I teach guys exactly how to do this sort of thing, shoot me an email at TheSingleGuy2017@gmail.com. If you're a guy where you've been going out, you've been trying to make things work, and you feel like it hasn't happened for you, I guarantee you it's because you're not taking the right kind of action. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, put it in the comment section below. Thanks a lot, you guys. Good luck out there.